Hey, thanks for joining me for another episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. I'm your well-being girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels, encouraging you and helping you to embrace the power of giving your body permission to relax for better choices, health, and wealth. We are doing this one deep breath at a time. All you need is an open heart and an open mind and a willingness to grow and to go. Of course, over this way, we're all about changing health narratives and leaving health legacies. And man, we are just so thankful that we know that health is the wealth that we're born with. We talk about all the other types of wealth, and that's important to know about and all of that. But to know that we've got wealth inside of us, and that is our health. So we have to make sure that we are being as best as stewards as we know how to be with that health, meaning getting enough sleep, accepting responsibility for our well-being, taking as many deep breaths as often as we can, tuning into our bodies and moving our bodies. So speaking of taking a deep breath, Matt, how are you doing today?
Hey, what up, though? How are you doing today?
I am well. And you know how we start off every episode?
With a deep breath.
Let's go. Come on. In and out, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference. All right, so this is February. Of course, we know it's Black History Month. It is also, though, Matt, Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month, and I love this. Do you think that you have greatness within inside of you, Matt?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like that for sure. And we all do, and so that's why I love this month being set aside for planting the seeds of greatness. So, Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month is celebrated, of course, in February annually to bring out the greatness within each of us. And as we exit the very first month of the year, January, with our resolutions, or like I like to call them, lifestyle changes underwater, and our gym memberships hanging on by a thread. Hopefully, that's not you, but if it is, the month of February comes around with the promise of spring. Yes, even though we know that groundhog saw his shadow. So, they're saying 6 more weeks of winter, but you got to keep hope alive. So, and we do see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that is spring. So now is the time to reaffirm ourselves to the cause of betterment. I love that. We want to pick up, so you can pick up that class maybe that you always wanted to take, invest in a really good mattress, which is so important, I'm telling you, because February is about planting the seeds of greatness in our lives and changing it for the better. Yes, Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month. We got to love that. All right, so the history of Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month. If you've ever felt stuck in a rut, and who has not, if you're unable to track out a single win for yourself, or you feel like you have it anyway, you are not alone. This is a sensational feeling of failure. It's too common, and as much as you may want to, sometimes you simply can't just shake it off. So this is where the observance of Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month comes in. There's no official source of origin for this observation, but who cares? I'm just glad it was started. Nevertheless, its purpose and timing could not be more right. We love it in the month of February. So the month of February is dedicated to taking concrete actions and changing the course of our lives. All right. So I'm going to tell you what, if you visualize yourself in 5 years, have you ever thought, and at your age, Matt, you may not, or you may, have you ever thought about where you will be or where you would like to be in the next 5 years?
I mean, to a certain extent, yes. Especially with college and work at the moment, that hasn't really been too hot on my mind. I'm kind of really just taking it day by day.
Right.
But yeah, I sometimes like to sit there and think about like what my future plans are, what I really want to do,
Right,
like
yeah.
what are my plans for when I'm done with college. And yeah, I think about it from time to time.
Yeah. And I think it is really good to look at that. But to your point, and I love to say that I think that it is wonderful that you're taking it one day at a time. But as we're taking it one day at a time, we want to just keep making sure that we are continuing to plant those seeds of greatness each and every day. And I think that as we do that and taking it one day at a time, we may not be so overwhelmed. It's really cool to look down the line 5 years from now and really think, wow, I'd love to be doing this and that. But I guess to stay in the moment day by day and make sure that each and every day we are planting those seeds of greatness is wonderful. But you may think about, well, how am I going to look in 5 years? Where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? And I think one good thing about doing that is looking at what are you going to change, or maybe what are you doing to change? And that's where, for me, the one day at a time comes in, because I think change is about It's about doing it daily and being intentional daily. So during the Plant the Seeds of Greatness month, you can recommit yourself to the journey of self-improvement and growth. You can cut out any toxicity out of your life and become the kind of person that sets goals and achieves them. You owe your future, for sure, a self chance and yourself a chance to become the greatest version of yourself. So you've got to start taking that and start doing that now. So man, I tell you what, there are so many ways that we can celebrate the Seeds of Greatness month, planting those seeds. And I think that it is so important. And the thing is that you can also plant seeds that are not so great. So we have to remember that either way, you're always planting seeds. You just want to be planting the right kind of seed. So what does the phrase plant the seeds means? It means, it's an idiom, and it means to do something today that has a guaranteed result in the future. It generally has a negative connotation, but Plant the Seeds of Greatness month flips the script and inspires us to plant seeds of action in our lives. And I tell you what, you can become great in your life. You can achieve greatness by building a growth mindset and developing mental toughness. Greatness is not an accident. It is not. It is truly intentional, and it cannot be achieved through luck, which I don't believe in anyway. So you have to plant the seeds of greatness in your life. And we just said this, you've got to make sure that you're doing that each and every day. So once again, there's some ways that we can celebrate Plant the Seeds of Greatness month. And one is by cutting out the negativity in your life. Ain't that the truth? All right. So if you've got someone in your life that's holding you back and, trying to really, bring the baggage, tis the season to cut all that out. All right. Cut that off. Let go of the naysayers, the doubters, the non-believers, and get ready to step into a new phase of growth in your life. And I try to do that on a daily. Find the greatness within you is number two. We're all capable of greatness. Yes, all of us. But not all of us are fortunate enough to act upon our gifts. So in February, we want to use our unique gifts to plant the seeds of a new life with new goals and a new renewed commitment to becoming your greatest self. I love this. And here's one that, man, I tell you, this takes intentionality on the regular too. Ditching the comfort zone. And I tell you what, I have truly become comfortable with being uncomfortable because I know that's the only way you can grow. So ditching the comfort zone, the warmth and familiarity of your comfort zone may appear like a haven, but it is death. It is a death trap. It can be like quicksand. Your comfort zone has been galloping your potential, man, and your capabilities. This Plant the Seeds of Greatness month is a time to ditch the comfort zone and turn your dreams into realities. And I'm telling you, it truly can happen. It is about being very intentional. It is simple, it may not be easy, but it is, you can do it. You really can. So one of the ways is to find your zone of genius. Now, your zone of genius is where your passions, your interests, and your skills align. Now, this may take what they call a little deep work. You got to sit down and really think about, what are your passions? What are your interests? What are some skills that you have? And if you don't have some of the skills that you want, well, you can go out and take classes and learn those skills, all right? And align all of that, all right? And that's where you're going to find your zone of genius. Then you want to make a plan. So craft out an executable plan for the next 6 weeks. This is going to take some, as they say now, locking in. You got to lock in. You've got to just do it. And, even if you spend 30 minutes a day on just tapping into this plan that you're going to execute, all right? If you do that for 6 weeks, man, I'm telling you what a difference that will make. Then you want to focus on the basics. Forget about the macro logistics and focus on those basic aspects of your plan, all right? Just go through, map out your plan, get those first few basic things. If you find out what your passions, your interests, and your skills are, and you're finding that, I'd like to be able to do this, but I don't know how to do this. So what is a plan of how you're going to learn how to do that? Mapping out those 3 things, all right? Spending some time on that, just the basic stuff. Get ready for the struggle, because there is one. There's a little bit of a struggle bus, but that is not a bad thing whatsoever. So nothing worth having comes easy. So you've got to get out of your head and you got to get it out and down and on paper, ready to give your best to every task at hand. All right. Once again, It's about intentionality and prepare yourself for the abundance. You have to think, yes, abundance is for you. You are worthy of abundance. We all are, right? But you've got to know and believe that within yourself. So operating from the place of fear and scarcity is paralyzing. That's a mindset thing. All right. However, once you have sown the seeds of greatness, get ready because I'm telling you, there is going to be a harvest of abundance for sure. So just keep that in mind. So, why we love Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month? Well, first, it's a month of action. So we've had enough of diary notes, vision boards, which are cool. They're cool. And manifestation circles, if that's your thing. But February is the month of action. So you've got to dust off your running shoes. All right. Put your hair up in a bun if that's what you need to do. Enroll in that online class. We just talked about those skills that maybe you need to learn. Plant the Seeds of Greatness is a chance, all right, to step out of our chatterbox, stop talking about it, and be about it. All right. Take charge of your life. Right. And then remember that the buddy system works. So Plant the Seeds of Greatness Month isn't just for yourself. It is our calling to invoke greatness in our peers as well. I want everybody to do well. Yes, for sure. Right. It just makes the world a better place when everybody is doing well. So the journey to becoming your greatest choice can get a tad lonely. So, you might want to tag a friend to come along with you, one that is in the same zone that you're in. All right. You can inspire each other. I have those types of friends. I have two that I can think of now, and I just love being around them. It's just like iron sharpening iron. I love it. So you can inspire each other, see the fruits of your seeds grow even sweeter. We love that. And then the post-January slump, it can be real. It really can. All right. So, as we enter the new year, we've got these ambitious resolutions. Once again, I like to call them lifestyle changes. And we're focused, got a focused mind. All right. Soon enough, though, you can realize that you cannot institute lasting changes in our life with some kind of deadline. So you can't just be floating off going, and just saying, well, you can, but you're not going to get the result if you're not setting a deadline. All right. When you set a deadline, when you know that you have a deadline, I think you're more apt to really try to achieve that goal within that. Even if you don't complete it all the way, you're going to get a lot closer. So just as January resolutions or lifestyle changes, maybe losing momentum, here comes the month of committing to greatness in our lives, which is February. And once again, we are, celebrating February as the Plant the Seeds of Greatness month. So, man, I tell you what, you can go back and listen to this episode. If some things maybe you missed, some things that maybe you want to tell a friend or a loved one that may help them as they plant their seeds of greatness during this month. I thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Take a Deep Breath with Yvonne Daniels podcast. As always, man, I tell you what, like, share, comment. And before we get out of here, Matt, how do we end every episode?
With a deep breath.
Let's go. Come on. In. And out. And also be sure to follow us on Deep Breath and Taste Buds at blogspot.com. Remember, this is Plant the Seeds of Greatness month of February. Take a deep breath with Yvonne Daniels. I'll catch you in the next episode.
Good stuff.